Hello everybody, and welcome to the finale of the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix playthrough. The time when we are going to look at all of the kind of side stuff that the game has to offer us. So the first thing is a look into the Trinity Archives, something that unlocks as soon as you've beaten one story and then gradually fills up as you beat more. You've got a really helpful timeline here, which shows you exactly when everyone goes to each world, and when they overlap, and when they don't, and it's really cool. And I do think that it's a really fun idea. It's also how you then can look at like the different bits of the story beats, and yeah, I do really like this as an idea. It's a nice way of seeing how everything ties together. You've also got a theatre, which is a standard thing of Kingdom Hearts at this point. It wasn't in the original game, but they did add it in as downloadable free downloadable content for the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 on the PS4. They added that. You've also got the ability to get some different trophies, which is cool for doing different special tasks. This is something that continued on through Recoded. I'm pretty sure it was also in Dream Drop Distance. And you can also then look at all of the secret reports in one place. And as I have pretty much done in all of the Kingdom Hearts playthroughs, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a look at all of these secret reports, because I feel that it's a tradition at this point to do it. And while I don't think it's what I'm going to show off is necessarily going to be as in-depth as things have been in the past, I can't remember exactly how I sat down through these things, whether it was me reading them out for the purpose of doing dramatic reading or what, but we shall see. Once Xehanort's letter is complete, I will have a try, to do a dramatic reading of the secret reports, but we will see how successful I am and whether I gave myself enough time in terms of being able to read. Because I can't remember what I've left for myself to do, because it's been that long since I've recorded this footage that, yeah, I have absolutely no memory. Much time has passed since I left the home of my youth behind, and in the myriad worlds I have since visited, I have gained much knowledge. On these pages I intend to record a portion of that knowledge, and put the course of my life to paper. Upon reflection, my life underwent the most considerable sea change when I arrived at that place. Yes, it began when I found a master, and another I would later call my brother for when I found a new home. Then there was the Keyblade. For what purpose was it begotten, and by whom? During my training as one of its wielders, the precepts offered a clear answer. The Keyblade existed so that we who watched over the light could protect the world from the shadows. But was that the true answer? Could there not be more to it than that? My heart sought knowledge, and so I sometimes visited other worlds, though such travel was forbidden unless duty required, and found what my heart sought. We'll see how this continues. Our master instructed us to don armour while travelling between worlds, so that we might shield ourselves from the darkness, but there in the lanes between I could feel the force of it, the power, and from then on I forwent my armour's protection. I'd been told the darkness would devour me, but what terrors could it possibly hold, so long as I found the strength to control it? The world is vast, and the worlds within the great world uncountable. Like little islands, they dot a great ocean between, which keeps them ignorant of each other, uncorrupted. Each world has its own order. Unlike us, they could not know the world in its entirety, and we were never to enlighten them. In ancient times, no such buffers kept the larger world divided. There were no walls of light enclosing each smaller world the way they do today. Nothing prevented one from physically interfering with the next. At that time, the world was filled with light and a great many Keyblade wielders, but without buffers, the world began to squabble over ownership of the light. You see, they learned of the Keyblade's true use. War broke out as each of the Keyblade wielders struggled to lay claim to an almighty entity known as Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts could be described as an aggregate of hearts. Worlds too have hearts, just like people. Each world's heart is concealed from sight behind a hidden door. By gathering all the hearts of all the worlds in a single place, one may complete Kingdom Hearts. And when Kingdom Hearts is complete, it is said the one who opens its door will bring about the creation of the next world. Such a feat is above any human, or to put it a different way, whoever opens that door will be reborn as something far greater than human. Light and darkness are two sides of the same coin. Without darkness there is no light. The Keyblade wielders' great war over Kingdom Hearts was fought by defenders of the light, servants of darkness, those who sought to reconcile the two, and those motivated by nothing more than lust for power. A whole spectrum of thought was swept into the conflict, and the worlds that did not go to war found the war brought to them. In the end, the whole world was cast into darkness. That was how the ancient Keyblade War drew to a close. To this day, no one has ever managed to open the door to Kingdom Hearts. Sometimes later, the little light that remained in the hearts of the few gave rise to the world we know today, one made of many worlds behind just as many walls, so that the Keyblade War would not be repeated. Well, that was a little bit of a tongue twister, that one. At present, the lanes and corridors that run between the worlds may only be traversed by us Keyblade wielders and those who have given themselves over to darkness. As the former, our duty is to cross the chasms between worlds and guard against the latter, whose darkness corrupts and contaminates so that no world need ever be lost again. Few Keyblade wielders remain now. I have heard of but a handful of others outside my circle, but the world is vast and more of our kind may be out there. Now, in addition to the realm of light in which we reside, there is also a realm of darkness, and the realm between which connects the two. The realm of darkness is most forbidden, I am told. None who set foot there have ever returned. There are three families of Keyblades: the Keyblades of Light we wield, Keyblades of Darkness, and Keyblades of Heart. The first and second families differ only in origin. Keyblades of Darkness are found in the realm of Darkness, and are counterparts to the Keyblades we use in the realm of Light. The third type of key, the Keyblade of Heart, came into existence when the world was reorganised after the Keyblade War. Without this key, Kingdom Hearts is forever beyond a person's reach. Only by gathering together 7 hearts of pure light, hearts completely devoid of darkness, may one forge a Keyblade of Heart and open the door to Kingdom Hearts. And as stated before, opening this door arguably gives that person control over all worlds and all people. I've uncovered the Keyblade's ultimate mystery. You see, beside the 3 families of Keyblades, there is another Keyblade. While it may sound the same when spoken, it is notated uniquely Keyblade. And make no mistake, while it resembles a normal Keyblade, it is something altogether different. Keyblades are said to be man-made counterparts to Kingdom Hearts. The Keyblade, however, coexists with Kingdom Hearts. It is only forged when 2 hearts of equal power intersect, 1 heart of pure darkness and 1 of pure light. At the time of its forging, Kingdom Hearts appears. It must be noted, though, that this Kingdom Hearts is special. Unlike the Kingdom Hearts brought about forcibly and artificially through the collection of hearts, this Kingdom Hearts is a perfect and complete union of all the world's hearts. Surely it was over this that the ancient Keyblade War was fought. If so, the wars that divide the world today are of little consequence. With the Keyblade, all their hearts could be instantly reunited, and the Keyblade War refought. My brother pupil Ericus thinks only in absolutes. He has persuaded himself that light is the only way, but forgets that light cannot exist without shadow. I believe a balance of light and darkness is what sustains our world, but too much of the darkness has been stamped out, disrupting that balance. Someone must tear down this tyranny of light and reorganise the world around the darkness, which then creeps back in. Ericus and I did not see eye to eye. I left and wandered the world. This was perhaps the first time I felt truly free since that day I departed my boyhood home. But free to do what? I had already shown the mark and become a Keyblade master, but having been passed over as successor, all that remained to me was the road of teacher. Ordinarily, Keyblade masters take pupils under their wing, malleable minds in which to impress the precepts of the Keyblade wielder and keep our profession alive for generations to come. Was my time drawing to an end then, after all I had accomplished since casting away the place of my birth? Surely waiting for a quiet death would not do, not when there was still so much I needed to see for myself. Powers helped me, I thought. My body is so old. We Keyblade masters have a special gift. We can extract a heart, be it our own or that of another. By continuing this cycle, it is possible to remain in the world of the living forever. As a boy, I dreamed of seeing the farthest reaches of the world. If I only went far enough, there had to be a world out there in which no one had ever before set foot. And now I know of just such a world. If I become the first to open Kingdom Hearts' door, I can create a new world in which light and darkness exist in perfect equilibrium. So there I stood, with vast knowledge in one gnarled, dying hand, and newfound purpose in the other. The next step was clear. I needed a new vessel. And that was when I met Ventus and made him my pupil. We were destined to meet, and I could sense the potential within him. But the boy was too benign for his own good. I came to the conclusion he was too frail to serve as a vessel, and decided to use him for a second purpose I had in mind. I'd remove the darkness from his heart and split him in two. Then I would have my heart of pure light and my heart of pure darkness. As was to be expected, Ventus lacked the constitution for such an ordeal. I was able to remove the darkness inside him and create Vanitas, a heart of pure darkness, but Ventus drifted into the clutches of sleep. Ventus's heart of pure light and Vanitas' heart of pure darkness. If both could be made strong enough to one day clash, I knew the Keyblade would be forged. But Vanitas took too much of Ventus's heart, and from that fracture, I could see the last of Ventus's light slipping away. The boy deserved a place to spend his final moments peacefully, and what should come to mind but my own boyhood home. My legs took me there unbidden, and as I stood there on the same beach where I'd made my choice so many years ago, I thought, not a single thing has changed. Here in this quiet world, time marches in place. Content that Ventus would find peace here, I started to walk away, but just then, the boy held up his Keyblade. The light within him had not died. Ventus and Vanitas were not matched in power. I could not train them together, or Vanitas' darkness would gnaw away what little Ventus had left. Of course, since I needed a place where the boy's light might flourish, the answer was obvious: Ericus and his absolutes. Considering how we had parted ways, I expected friction, but if anything, Ericus seemed delighted to see me again. He readily agreed to take care of Ventus. Now I need only wait for the boy's heart to get stronger. I had not visited this second home of mine for some time and discovered Ericus had already found two pupils of his own. Within one of them, terror, I sensed something. The boy, though well-intentioned, seeks power single-mindedly, and that kind of hunger is a seedbed for darkness. I had found my vessel. This time has come. I've received word from Ericus that his pupils have become true Keyblade masters, Terra and Aqua. They will be easy now to lure into the outside world, but Ventus, I will get nowhere without him. Vanitas can feel some of what Ventus feels, and he says Terra is the key. Ventus has loved Terra like a real brother ever since he let him keep his old wooden Keyblade. It seems we have found a loose thread at which we can tug to unravel Ventus's heart. The first step is to get Terra alone, then we need to plant the seeds of doubt in Ventus. Let him carry his faint light as he chases his brother into the darkness. The darkness make his light stronger, then let the light deepen the darkness, and where the two finally meet is where the stuff of legends will become real. And that is all of the reports. And now that we've kind of gone through all of the stuff that's in the Trinity archives, the only real thing that I've got left to show is just the report in general. You've seen it as we've played the game, but as with all my other Kingdom Hearts playthroughs, all my others I say is in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, I've gone on to show sort of exactly what is in them. So in here you can view the synopses of each of the worlds. This is what you can also see in the timeline. Secret reports, you can see the ones that are specifically related to the character to pick them up. You've got all the arena missions. As you can see, I was actually quite close to getting the final 3 arena levels necessary to get up to 30, but I was too lazy to do the final command board, and yeah. And obviously I failed miserably at doing master mode for some of those things, so it was just a no-go. And then I failed at beating Captain Justice, so that was also a no-go. Hit counts all went pretty well, although I think I kind of messed up in the fact of never doing Cinderella's first one, or her second one. It's one of the two. It's really bad, but oh well, we beat all the inverse missions. Obviously we've got all the character stuff. We're just going to skip through all of that so you can see all the models. I would go through all the story beats, but you don't need that. You've already seen all the stuff. But it is nice just to have a look at all the character models, and obviously with the Disney characters having the stuff pointed out as to where they originated in their films and stories and stuff. It is something that I have always appreciated the Kingdom Hearts series for doing, because it does always show that appreciation of the films that have led to the stories that we see here, and really that's just something that's quite lovely. And yeah, it's something that I will always be grateful is there, and it is something that I do hope continues. I suspect it will, because it's been in every single Kingdom Hearts game ever at this point. So yes, long may it continue. I think the only thing that I would perhaps like to be able to do in these, although you can display full screen the character models, which is nice, but I don't think that you can necessarily like zoom in and move around them like a proper model viewer. I suppose that is probably something that I would quite like to see. Not that really it would get that much use, but I know for... I mean, particularly for people who like doing cosplay and stuff, particularly for the leads, having that ability to zoom in and out and have really close-up detail of the characters' costumes is something that I think people would really appreciate, because it would give them a hitherto before unseen look at the characters and allow them to create much more accurate cosplays that I'm sure they'd love and appreciate. So that's something that I probably think would be a nice addition, but certainly not one that is necessary at all. Another thing that I think I would probably really like to see is a concept art gallery. It's one of the things that I'm sure anybody who's watched me for any length of time knows that I really like concept art galleries in games. Just because it's always really cool to see where ideas originated from, and I think for Kingdom Hearts it would be even more fascinating, because as well as you could have the character concept art, you can have the world concept art, and I think it would just be really fascinating to see, like, also where like the enemy designs come from, any that were scrapped and why they were scrapped. It's something that I have always found interesting, and I think the Kingdom Hearts series is definitely well... how do I want to phrase this? It's got more than enough stuff within it to warrant that sort of stuff, and it's got the type of fan base that would just absolutely leap on that. Like, I'm not sure whether to this day there's ever been a proper Kingdom Hearts art book. Like, I know that there was one released for the manga, which hilariously I've got in French, because of course, but I think it is something that a lot of people would really love to see, and really they would pay out the nose for that sort of stuff. To be fair, I'd probably pay a pretty decent whack for a decent Kingdom Hearts art book. So, you know, once Kingdom Hearts 3 is out and about, and we've all played it and enjoyed it and sobbed at whatever ending occurs for whatever reason, they release an art book like just celebrating the entirety of the Xehanort saga. Because I would love to see some of the stuff from the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts all the way through to its end. That would be pretty amazing to see. But yes, with this we have, as you can see, we've got all the treasures, got quite a lot of the commands. Obviously we dealt with all the sticker album stuff, and it looks all fun and delightful. It's the same for pretty much everybody. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you will join me in the next playthrough. See you then.